India, cattle rearing is it's not a big deal. There's no such organized cattle rearing, they're just there. We used to have over 1 billion or billion plus cattle about 20 years ago. Today, it is numbered around 780 million, something like that, but they're generally there, either in the farmlands or in the forests, wild ones and things like that. I once happened to go into I was driving on a highway and I heard some hideous sounds, like stomach churning kind of. My stomach is very strong, I can travel in the ocean without having big seasickness. Wherever I am, I'm not a motion sickness person or anything, I can see anything, I'm kind of made like that. But these sounds are like gut-wrenching kind of sounds. So we were just traveling and we wanted to see what it is, we just drove in. I don't know, somewhere between LA to San Francisco, a little deeper into the plains. And this must be probably maybe 34 or 50 acres kind of fenced land. I don't know how many animals, I couldn't even guess. It must be definitely somewhere between 500,000 to 1,000,000 animals, packed. And the smell is like, the stench is unbearable. And they're making gut-wrenching sounds. I don't know if it's a slaughterhouse or something, I couldn't make out, there were some sheds. Oh, it is the worst kind of misery. The first thing that came to me is the movies we have seen, the Holocaust things. This is just like that, and the sounds that are coming out of that place. I think the diet will change if you make a visit. One thing I want to ask you, sir, in what way is the biome connected to this? See, how we see food is, we see that when we eat something, we must eat that kind of food which in terms of species is furthest away from us. So plant life is definitely far away from us. If at all, if you must eat non-vegetarian or something which is not of, from plant life, you can eat fish. Fish, that's why we call it as, in South India, we call it as jalapushpam. This means it's the flower in the water. Because it behaves like plant life in your body, because it's so further away from your own genetic code. If you eat something which is closer to your genetic code, for example, like mammals, if you eat a mammal which is so close to you, the complexity of that genetic code and its biome and everything doesn't work for us. This is a fundamental thing, that it'll dull your system, it'll complicate your own genetic codes, it'll get mixed up. And now everybody's talking about epigenetics. I mean, that's not my area, I don't know scientific knowledge, but we know what causes dullness in us, what causes alertness in us, what lowers our perception, what heightens our perception. This is something we're always conscious about. Before we put something, we're always looking in terms of not protein, vitamin like this. We are only thinking in terms of, if I consume this, will I become less receptive or more receptive? This is the only concern we have. Because in this life, whether you live for 100 years or 50 years, how receptive you are is how profound your life's experience is. So we are not looking at the length of our experience, but the profoundness of our experience. So in this concern, we are seeing that what we consume must be far away from us in genetic code.
So you're not vegetarian, you don't have some, special tips maybe, what is the best food?
I am vegetarian by choice. I'm not… this is not a moral value for me. I will not eat, animal food or something, it's just sensible. This is a question of your evolution. See, nobody has to give up meat as some kind of a giving up. Meat is a survival food. When we were hunters and gatherers, we ate that. But if you evolve, as you have evolved within you, as all human beings have evolved, if you pay attention to your evolution, you will naturally become a plant-based diet. If it's missing somewhere, then of course you can fall back for one day to survive, because survival is important. But if you have a choice, you will naturally become plant-based consumption, because if you observe your body, it's all there. Do I have to go into this anatomy? Should I?
Yes.
See, right now, if you look at the way, because the alimentary canal starts from your lip to the anal outlet. Here itself, if you look at it, all the carnivorous animals have canines, 2 teeth to tear the meat, and incisors to cut the meat, no molars. Because meat doesn't need chewing, it has to be cut into pieces and swallowed. And also if you look at the jaw movement, all the carnivorous animals have only this kind of movement. All the herbivores have this and also grinding. What do you have?
The second one.
Yes, you have grinding action also. And you have both incisors and molars because you're supposed to chew your food. Chewing the meat is useless because it doesn't do anything in the mouth. If you chew any carbohydrate, if you chew any cereal or anything else which is plant-based, the digestion begins right here because you have the necessary enzymes in your mouth. If you eat properly, at least 30 to 40% of your digestion should be over here. If you're gulping it down like a carnivorous animal, then digestion won't happen. Because the stomach bag here is expecting half-digested food. You're putting undigested food, lot of problems, any number of problems. For a whole lot of problems, chronic ailments that people have, headquarters is in the stomach, not in Moscow.
Okay.
So if you look at the length of the alimentary canal from there onwards, in all the carnivores, the length of the alimentary canal is approximately 3 times the length of their body. In all the herbivores, it's 5 to 6 times the length of your body. Your alimentary canal is anywhere between 26 to 30 feet. This is 6 times the length of your body, or 5 to 6 times the length of your body. So this is because meat moves very slowly, so all carnivores have short alimentary canal. This is a design of evolution, all right? If you eat vegetarian food, it goes very quickly. Because of that, you have long alimentary canal so that there's enough time to absorb whatever you have to. If you… in your present system, in the human system, if you eat a fruit, you will digest it within 1.5 to 3 hours. If you eat a vegetable uncooked, you will digest it in anywhere between 12 to 15 hours maximum. If you eat cooked vegetarian meal, it takes 24 to 30 hours. If you eat cooked meat, it will take 52 to 54 hours. If you eat raw meat, it will take 70 to 74 hours. If this food stays in your body for 74 hours, you are manufacturing lots of problems. You're learning to live with it. You're trying to wash it down with alcohol, you're trying to do all kinds of things, but you're causing stress to the system. When you're like this, you begin to become aggressive and stressed and irritable all the time. You act like a tiger. People are proud being a tiger. It's an evolutionary backward step. Hello? Human being became a tiger. Is it a forward step or a backward step? Serious backward step, isn't it? So all these are happening. Well, if it was survival, we ate whatever came our way. Once there is a choice, you must not listen to me. You must listen to your body, look at the evolutionary nature of how things are. You will naturally become plant-based.